Man, Hispanics everywhere. These are the first words of a text message sent by a spectator during the graduation ceremony at a Texas school. And I hope that when you read the rest and learn who sent it, you become as infuriated as I am. Because the full text message that was being typed and fortunately got caught on video by another spectator at the graduation ceremony read, "Man, Hispanics everywhere. Every other name is Mexican. We're being overrun. ICE needs to raid this graduation." The fact that an adult sits at his school graduation and surrounded by hopeful students and proud parents types and sends a message like that alone should make your blood boil. But it gets worse, because that message you just read wasn't just written by anyone. It was created by this man. His name is Sam Day, and he was the operations director for Commerce ISD, a Texas school district just outside of Dallas. A man whose job has huge implications for student safety, including safety from immigration raids, who might be in charge of campus access procedures, walks around a small American town harboring this level of prejudice and bigotry. But the truth is that he's not alone. Sam Day's job offer was rescinded by Commerce School District, but you have to wonder, how many more Sam Days has the new GOP awakened who are now hiding in broad daylight, ready to attack, betray, and hurt, while calling their revolting behavior patriotism? And if you are who we know you are, then congratulations. You voted for this.
We have an update, and this is fast, because this man who was complaining about Hispanics being everywhere at a graduation, a high school graduation, because every other name is Mexican, and was wanting ICE to show up, well, he has a face. Commerce ISD rescinds offer for operations director job following investigation. They had already announced that Sam Day was going to be the new director for the district before the accusations arose concerning Hispanic names and ICE. And they announced this on Wednesday. The district said the decision followed an investigation conducted by Superintendent Steve Drummond, Commerce ISD Police Chief Seth McDaniel, the district's Human Resources Department, and upper administration. I mean, they did their due diligence. And this man had 12 years in the military before retiring from the city of McKinney, brought more than 15 years of experience in public education. That's scary. That is scary. Pero les voy a decir algo. Of course you are annoyed of Hispanics and Mexicans in this country. Of course. But I mean, props to the school district. Honestly, that was so quick. And you guys gave me the tea like that. This is why I love the internet, because you guys helped me. I'm impressed, but what do you think?
This man behind me, his name is Sam Day. Commerce ISD just rescinded his job offer for operations director. Yes, Commerce Independent School District. This man, Sam Day, was at a high school graduation, and I am paraphrasing. He said every other name is a Hispanic name, and ICE needs to come raid this graduation. Now, could you imagine how many people like him are working at a school district? At a school district where you have all types of race, nationalities, everything at these schools. And this is how he feels. You text this. He texted us at a graduation. Somebody behind him took a picture of it and said, hey, and it went viral. Now you lost your job. So everybody need to be careful about texting in a public setting, because you never know who is taking a picture of you, of what you're texting or posting, whatever. So lesson learned, lost your job. A good paying job.
Everybody, this is Jay Sims, Army veteran, also retired detective. Here's another example of promoting and hiring people that have implicit and explicit biases. This guy, Sam Day, who was going to be given a big director position for a school district, decided at a graduation that he wanted to what? Text someone saying that every other name is a Hispanic person. So what? So what? And he's talking about he want to bring ICE in to come in and remove all these young, brilliant minds at the end of the day. He don't know if they're born here. He don't know anything about that. But what do y'all think? I think, like, at the end of the day, all us brown people, melanated people, We got to stand together, because if we don't, we're going to get picked off one by one. What do y'all think in the comments?
I would like everyone to go back in time to when you were a senior in high school, knowing you are about to graduate. You know, it's May, some people June. I know some schools around the country, it differs on the time of graduation, but go back to your senior year and imagine, like the last few weeks of school, how excited you were to finally be done with school, knowing that graduation's here, and the day of graduation, how it felt for you to walk across the stage and get your diploma, and knowing that you never had to go to school ever again, and you were going into adulthood. Most people went to college or maybe just went to, do other ventures, but imagine how happy you felt that you had such an accomplishment. You spent 13 years of your life going through school. Some 14, I don't know. Some people, I don't know, count pre-K, some don't. I never went to pre-K, so I'm starting from kindergarten all the way on to senior year of high school. But just imagine how happy you felt and relieved you felt to know that you were done with school. Now imagine how these kids felt knowing that there was a hating ass mofo in the audience, wishing for ICE to be waiting outside to round up their parents and loved ones. Imagine somebody in the audience not even being focused on the commencement ceremony. The number one thing on the top of his mind was the amount of Hispanic names that were being called out. Just imagine if ICE would have actually showed up to this school. I don't even know, are schools like a grounds for them to even enter? I don't know. But anyway, it just does not sit well with me, the fact that instead of focusing on the achievement of these students, this man was just sitting in the audience, knowing that he was just hired to be an employee of this very school district, in the audience, not even paying attention to the ceremony. Well, let me not say that. That might not be fair to say. I mean, anybody could just shoot a quick text. Just from the text thread, it doesn't look like it was an ongoing thing, but of course I could be wrong. But just imagine that being on the top of your mind to where you had to stop and text that to someone. It's just mind-boggling to me how people just let racism impact their lives like this. And as they say, racism is very expensive, and it cost this man his job, rightfully so. And it's really quite funny that the person who took the picture, the picture is so clear. At first, I thought it was AI when I ran across this on my TikTok FYP page. That's where I first got the heads up on this story. I thought it was AI. I was like, okay, maybe they just made this to make it to be more sensationalized, but that is the actual text, you guys. And of course, who can't read that? It's in a freaking 200-point font. No offense to my people that can't see. I get it. You have to blow the text up just to be able to see. I know it's for a lot of people, but imagine typing something like that, knowing how big it is with a row of people behind you, and click. It took one flick of the thumb to take a picture of that, and this man's career might be done forever. And I say might because, in my opinion, I could definitely be wrong, and I'm not advocating for this at all, because I don't think that this man should ever be an employee of any school board ever again, because this just goes to show this man's intentions and what he thinks about the students around him. Being in Texas and you're shocked by the amount of Hispanic names being called out at a graduation, make it make sense. Where do you think you reside or work? It's so infuriating, the fact that people can't just live their lives without somebody overlooking and lurking to see if they could plot on people's downfall. And I just do not think that it's right. And this is what I'm saying is, A lot of people will come in my comments of these FAFO videos and be like, this isn't how it should be. You know, we should come together. Like, we shouldn't be laughing at people while they're down and wanting the worst for them. But this is a prime example of why we cannot think like that. Now, of course, I don't want anybody to lose their job. It's hard enough to find a job out here. And knowing this man got hired onto the school board, I know that's no easy feat. I have a relative who is a superintendent. This guy's job is not as high as a superintendent, but I could imagine he probably had to go through multiple rounds of interviews just like my relative did. Probably a one-on-one interview, probably meeting with different people, and probably a panel interview. I'm not sure, maybe each ISD does it different. I'm not sure, but I could imagine the lengths this man probably had to go through to get this job, all to lose it for being racist. Insanity. And this is what, and going back to my point, and this is what I'm saying, we can't have any empathy for these people. These people know exactly what they're doing. And I don't wish ill will for anybody. I know the way that I speak sometimes, it seems like I don't care, but these people put themselves into this position. Nobody told him to text that at the dang graduation. Now, I know that's his privacy and that's his phone. Nobody should have technically been able to see. But like I said, the freaking text was in 200-point font. Who wouldn't have been able to read that? I definitely would have, but I probably would have been too late to take a picture. I mean, it's a miracle this person got it, and it's so crystal clear. I mean, it was clear as day. This is why we cannot just let these people just get away with it and not holding them accountable, because there's people like this amongst us in our society, on our jobs, just when we are frequenting places. They're everywhere. And I'm not saying I want everybody to, just be mad at them. You have your own feelings about it. That's fine. If you want to give them empathy, that's fine too. Everybody is different. I understand. But we cannot just be like, oh, it's okay. We can't coddle these people. We really can't, because look at the type of mindset that this man had while at a graduation. Everybody in that room should be feeling proud, should be feeling happy that these are young adults that's about to go to college or do whatever they are planning to do, or even if they're just going to chill and go work to Walmart. The fact that they graduated is amazing. And there was this hating ass man in the audience, that not even just some random man, a man that was going to work for this particular school board, ISD. And he's out here like messaging stuff like this for ICE to pop up because there's too many Hispanics. Like, this man should never, ever, ever work in a school board again. But like I said, I do think there's probably a smaller school board somewhere. If he goes in the outskirts, if he lets this die down a little bit, I would not be surprised, if I could be honest, if he gets another job. Like I said, I'm not wanting that to happen, but we know the way the world is. When a white man is looking for a job, sometimes stuff like this does not ruin their career. I mean, can we be for real? I'm not saying that that's definitely going to happen, but we've seen it in history where white men are not held as accountable as everyone else. Even for something like this, because I could definitely see a school board or an ISD like being like, oh, okay, it's died down. And I would not be surprised, because this is how it goes. Like, when you encounter one racist to another racist, that's all it takes sometimes. But like I said, I could just be speaking out of the side of my neck on this, but I live in Texas, so I could definitely see this happening. But that's my opinion. As I always say, you do not have to agree, but that's just what I'm feeling like could happen. Of course, not this school year. Maybe if he lets it die down another school year. But again, if anyone works in a school board, maybe stuff like this, it automatically gets you barred everywhere. I don't know, definitely let me know if I'm speaking kind of out of pocket about this, but I don't know. It's something in me just feels like if he lets this die down, he could get a job elsewhere. Even if you Google him, this is going to come up. It's really sad when you think about it. Kids can't even enjoy like their milestones anymore without racist people lurking around trying to ruin everything. This is a moment of happiness and, feeling proud of yourself. Like some of these kids possibly barely made it through to graduation. I hate to say that, but I'm just saying there may have been some that are like so happy that they made it. Imagine if this man actually did call ICE or someone else did, or ICE just popped up and like totally ruined the graduation, and so many lives were torn apart and families torn apart at this graduation ceremony. Imagine walking outside planning to take your pictures and everything and your parents get taken away. Imagine how traumatizing that would be. The audacity of somebody to do that at a graduation. Can't even just live in the moment and put your racism aside and leave it at the door just for 2 hours. But that's what you get. I definitely don't feel bad, as I hope he has to go work at a Walmart. That's just how I feel. This man should never ever work at a school board ever again. It's just so depressing when you think about this. Innocent children just going to their graduation and their parents are sitting proudly watching them in the stands. And there was a man just having these hateful thoughts sitting right amongst them. And this is why sometimes we talk down a little bit on technology and like how we're always on our phones and it's affecting like us communicating with each other. But this is an instance where phones are a good tool that we have it in our everyday lives, because if this person wouldn't have been able to quickly take a picture of this man would have been able to go on and about his life and start this role, I'm assuming, at the beginning of the next school year. Just imagine if this man would have been among students. I don't know, like if director of operations means they have to go to all of the schools in the district or anything, or if that's really strictly like an in-office type of a role. But I mean, I know it's in an office, but you know what I mean. Like it doesn't require you to have to go to the schools. But I thank God that person got that picture. It's amazing how quick it went. And that's the power of social media and having this technology and phones in our hands. It could do good. It does a lot of bad, but there are good things about it. But anyway, you guys, I could speak on this topic for another hour, but I'm going to spare you guys. But yeah, it's just upsetting and infuriating. But let me know what y'all think about this down below. Y'all know that I'm always in the comments. And if you made it this far, thank you so much. I appreciate you as always. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because that really helps the channel out and helps to get me pushed out into the algorithm, which also helps me, and I would appreciate. And speaking of, thank you guys so much for getting me to 10,000 subscribers. Like we literally just made it, like right before I started recording the video. Like I made it. Like it's funny. I don't know if I should go into this. I've been yapping enough, but I stayed at 9,999 for like 3 hours before I got the last subscriber I needed to make it to 10,000, which is also funny. I was at 9,999, but then I lost somebody unsubscribed. I lost a subscriber, and then I got that subscriber back so I was at 998. Then I went back to 999. You know what I mean? 9,999. And then I finally at 8:30 made it to 10,000 subscribers. So yes, thank you guys so much. If you've watched, you've liked and subscribed, I appreciate it all. You could be anywhere else on YouTube or doing anything else in your regular life or on any other social media platform, but I'm happy that you take the time to watch my content, because I really appreciate it. I never ever thought that I would even make it to 1,000 subscribers. Now that I've made it to 10,000, it just feels so unreal to me. It doesn't feel like that many people would want to listen to me. Like it doesn't seem right. I don't know, you guys. I just kind of feel that it's so weird that people don't mind listening to me. I know a lot of people don't stay around for my videos to listen to my commentary and my reactions to a lot of these videos, but for those that watch the whole thing and make it all the way to the end, I appreciate y'all more than you could ever imagine. I just feel so honored that you guys give me the time. Oh my God, I could cry. Y'all give me your time out of your busy day just to listen to me, and it really means a lot to me, all of your positive comments. I hate that I have to be talking on so many negative topics, but I promise I'm not this much of an annoying, like hateful sounding person. And I'm not hateful, but you guys know what I mean. I'm not like a mean person, but the fact that I'm growing this audience, it really impacts my mental health. It makes me feel like I have a purpose, which it took me a long time to realize that I have. And oh man, I'm trying not to cry, y'all. I'm sorry, but I just appreciate y'all more than you know. Your comments, you could just watch the video and not even say anything, but your kind comments and your comments just on the topics, it just really makes me feel happy that you guys engage with my content. It really means a lot. It really does. And I'm so grateful and blessed to have you guys here around, even to my silent watchers. I appreciate y'all as well. I get it. I just appreciate everyone. Whether you've watched 30 seconds of a video and bothered to click on one, or you watch the majority of them all the way to the end. I just really appreciate y'all. Like, I never thought that I would make it to 10,000 subscribers. I just thank you all so much. God bless you guys, and I'm just so happy. But anyway, guys, before I start on another tangent as usual, thank you guys once again, and that's all I have. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye. See you later.